All right. Thanks everyone for being here. Today is Thursday, September 26th. And in today's webinar, we'll be talking about Overtok calls conversion, one of the newest products in the Vendasta marketplace. We are live from the Vendasta headquarters in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. My name is Cam, product marketing manager here at Vendasta. And just as a standard, if at any point in this webinar you have any questions, please type them in the chat box and we will get right to them towards the end of the webinar. Or if we are not able to get to those, I will personally follow up with you after. So today's special guests are Barak Geller, co-founder and CEO, and Guy Nawar, co-founder and CMO at Overtok. Hey, Barak and Guy, thanks for being with us today.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Yeah. All right, so let's get right into it. Tell us all about Overtok.
So, hi everybody. We're very excited to be here today. My name is Barak Geller, and with me, my partner Guy Naor. We're both the founder of Overtok. I am pleased to present you Overtok call conversion, the idea, the solution, and how we fit and integrate at Vendasta Marketplace. What is Overtok call conversion? Before we'll explain, please let me to come out with a problem that you all know, but maybe you didn't pay attention to it. Today, making a call from any digital asset send the user out of sight to an offline call at a phone keypad dialer. In other words, the user abandoned the site and no one wants it to happen. Everybody wants to keep their user engaged on site. That's where Overtok call conversion comes in. Our unique on-site interaction solution creating native engagement process with high-intent visitor, critical points, and generating additional valuable actions means the user stay on site, make a call from the site with branded dialer and customized engagement screen. So some more about our company. The company founded on 2017 and based in Tel Aviv, Israel. We work globally with different types of customers, mostly in the local search industries such as digital directories, telcos, site builders, and more. Overtok unique solution embedded in more than 300,000 digital business pages. We convert average of 30% of existing call to business into quality action and leads. Means that out of 100 calls to a business, user make around 30 action on our engagement screen before and after the call.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you increase the volume of your microphone a little bit, just so we can hear you more?
Of course. Sure.
Thank you.
There is important information that will help you to understand the value of Overtok call conversion. More than 30% of calls to small and medium businesses are missed calls. In most cases, it's a lost call or a lost lead. Along with that, around half of those callers will keep searching for service or other businesses after the first call ends. This is usually where business is losing potential customers to competitors. That's one of the gaps Overtok bridges. Overtok and Vendasta. We believe in partnership and working together. For us, the ability to collaborate is always win-win, especially when collaboration creates value and meaning for the customer. We create business called meaningful. Launching in Vendasta Marketplace gave us a great opportunity to meet Vendasta partners and provide you and your clients with a great and innovative tool for growth. So our webinar agenda for today, we will start with a quick intro. After that, Guy will keep with deep explanation about the product and the capabilities, a live demo that includes the whole process of how you get product from Vendasta Market, how to implement it on the website and using the admin. Then we will explain about the business model and some key points to help selling it. And of course, at the end, we will answer to all your questions. So, what we do, Overtok call conversion helps Vendasta partners to boost business results for the SMB clients. There are three important things here. The first one, longer user journey, or in this case, caller on-site journey. The second one is engagement, auto-engage with the caller at the right time with the right message. And the third one, it is all native and part of the interaction process. What is the value? At the end, it's all about ROI and conversion. Overtok call conversion, not just measure and track incoming calls. We convert calls into action, value, and revenue. Our visual engagement platform with the callers includes a variety of call to action options before we are connecting the call and after it ends. At those critical real-time touch points, we generate high conversion ratios for additional actions. This is the meaning of call conversion. I am pleased to pass to Guy to continue presenting the product. Please, Guy, take it from here.
Hi all again. Hope you're right. Thank you, Barak, for covering this important information. And I think we are ready to see how Overtok works. So we worked hard together with the Vendasta team to make this integration as seamless as possible for you guys. And the good news are that it's now super easy to run and manage Overtok through Vendasta. So you can activate it instantly. It takes seconds to activate Overtok with this integration we made with Vendasta. So we integrate with all the business information. I'll show you it right away. Through the Vendasta, automatically create an account for the business and the default code to install on any page that you run for the business. So using Overtok code or link on any digital asset that you run for your clients, such as a website, landing pages, social pages, and ads, enable high-intent visitors to call business while the call takes place on site instead of being sent out to an offline call on the keypad, as Barak mentioned. And that's actually where the caller experience begins. On the business side, the business receives totally regular calls to their existing mobile or landline phones. So there is nothing to install here or nothing to train on the business side. Very easy. So that will be actually the first page that the user will see after the visitor click to call. On this page, and actually on all the pages on the floor that you're going to see now, you'll be able to edit any piece of content and images in order to customize it for each of your clients. The caller experience on-site interaction with the business, and they stay for longer on the asset and on the same URL. They never leave the website again to the phone dialer, as Barak said before. And there we come up with dynamic content that you can deliver while the customer is waiting for you, for the business, to answer the call. Drive digital transaction. On some verticals, there is a great opportunity to auto-engage with the caller even before the call is being connected. For businesses who offer phone calls as a service, but really focus on online reservation and bookings and commerce, you can motivate the caller to complete digital transaction instead of automatically connect the call. Okay, that's one of my favorites. This is the place where actually you convert. This comes post call actions after the call. This is where you catch the customer attention who has just finished the call with the business. And as a native part of the call process, you can motivate them to call for action and take another action in the end of the call. As you can see, we have different call to action pages. We'll see them in a couple of minutes. Barak said it before, but it's very important to say it again. From our experience, more than 30% of calls to small businesses are missed for different reasons. and we can help to capture these leads for missed calls instead of losing potential customers to the competition. About our editor, that we're gonna see it in a couple of minutes. So we have dynamic and easy to use drag and drop editor. We have more than 10 options for call to action before the call starts and after it ends. This is another cool tool that we have for agencies who runs different assets for the same business. So you can easily duplicate the code or the link and use different codes and different links on different assets. And then you can measure the exact ROI, amount of successful interaction from any channel or any landing page or websites that you run and manage for your clients. The track managing the call system, so we have a full and combined web and call. Since the call is happening, take place on the web, so we have combined web and call analytics. We track and manage all the calls. We have the action dashboard that I'm going to show you in a few minutes, and the panel, and of course the management tools for business owners. Another cool thing that we've done with Vendasta on the report of the SMB, on the SM Business Center, you can go to the executive report and see the dashboard with all the results that Overtok made on the website. And here we actually count and we give you high-level numbers and statistics about missed calls and answer calls and action that taken during the interaction. We will see it in live soon. So if I summarize what Barak mentioned before, the important points that Barak mentioned before and what I've said, so we're dealing here with the on-site customer engagement. We have dynamic touch points in real time. You guys can manage and track calls from all channels. You can work on any digital environment. We support all digital assets. And of course, measure ROI and track each channel's interaction and action separately. All right, so let's jump on the demo. So the first thing I'm gonna cover on this demo, I wanna create a new business in Vendasta. I know you guys are familiar with it, but it's important for me to show you that all the information that we collect from Vendasta database, it comes to our system automatically. It means that you don't need to type all this information again. So if I just want to open a new business, I'll search for a florist in New York. And I want to activate Remy Flowers and Coffee, just for example. So I click continue. And then all this information, the business name and the tags and the location, of course, zip code, and of course the phone number that we forwarding the calls to this phone number, we have it already on our dashboard. This is actually the heart of the integration with Vendasta. Now I'll go to activate. Actually, I have one business that I've done before. So if I go to manage accounts again, and I go for the demo business that I made for today. So that will be the demo business page on Vendasta, and I'm opening the business center. So I go to the SMB dashboard of Vendasta. All right. And here I can see that this business already have installed the Overtok call conversion. And if I click on the Overtok call conversion tab on the left menu, actually I'm going to Overtok admin panel. And now I'm gonna embed the code that I received. So this is actually the first page that you land when you open a new business. So you have your, get started information and how to install the code and the link. So if I go for the code, I have the code that I need to copy. Of course, you have also your explainers and how-to videos, so you can use it easily. Copy the code, and then I go to, just a second, sorry. I'll go to the code, and then in the end of the page, after the body tag, I can just paste the code here. And when I move to my website, this is what I get after I install the code. So that will be the bottom that I install on the code. And if I go back to the admin panel and go to settings, I can see the button here. I'll be back to this page soon, but here you can see that you can edit the color of the button and decide what devices to show the button and where to put the button on the page, where to place it. All right, so I'll go from the beginning, actually from the end, from the more juicy stuff. So if I'll go to the screen editor, we have 4 different type of action screens that come up before the call starts and after it ends. So I'll start with what happens after the call ends. So if I go to the call to action tab, that will be actually a few call to action screens that you can choose which of them or some of them on random to show to the user after the call ends. So we have navigate to the store if it fits your business that you're running. If your business that you run and manage have an application, so you can motivate the caller to download the application after the call ends. You can just simply place here the URL of the store on iOS or Android, and you can just come up with this screen. We have another powerful screen, so you can collect subscribers to your mailing list. You can finish the call with the screen of reviews. And of course, I guess any business have social media pages. So again, you can go to social media tab and then add the Facebook page of the business and the Twitter page and the YouTube page if he has one, Instagram, etc., etc. You can easily build a quick survey. So you can go to the question tab and ask anything like how often, I don't know, you buy flowers online, blah, blah, blah. And then to place the answers, never, every Sunday, and you got it. And another screen we have, it's an open screen, it's an iframe, so you can place any link and show any link behind this header. And about the editing, let's just go to the mailing list. You can actually edit any piece of content in this page. Start from the header, so you can pick different colors for the header. If I want a green header and red text, doesn't look very good, but the designer can work with it. If you go to the body, so you can, just write here whatever you like, and as well here. And if I jump to another call to action screen, so we have the drive to online, that will be disabled on the default. But this is a great, as I mentioned before, that will be a great screen for restaurants and lawyers and some bookers, so you can motivate even if the user call and you have your business have it has a focus on online reservation or bookings or stuff like that. You can come up with this screen. Of course, you can customize where to send the link. Sometimes back to site to complete the order online. If it's a restaurant, you can place here the open table booking system or anything else the business is working with. And of course, you can always the user can always go and proceed to call if he wants the customer service. While you're waiting is a screen that we show while the caller is waiting for the business to answer the call. So you can edit as well and show the screen while the phone is ringing on the business side. And the last one will be the missed call. So when the business missed the call, you can come up with this form and just turn missed calls into quality leads.
Okay, so Guy, I have a question here. Customers need to call from a smartphone or a telephone-enabled PC only. From a standard desktop phone, they are placing a traditional phone call, correct?
It's on the user side, it's just a regular phone call. I mean, it's a web call, but the user doesn't need to download anything. I mean, it's once you install the code on your website or on landing page or the link, the user just click on it as they used to link on you know any uh, any button today. It does work on mobile and desktop devices and tablets as well. All you need is Wi-Fi or 3G or whatever or 4G to be connected to the internet. And again, this is very important to explain that the business doesn't need to download anything or change anything on their exist phone system. We just deliver the call, transfer the call to regular phone numbers.
We'll see in a second when we click the call button and show you how it works.
All right.
All right, so if I go to setting tab, I showed that before, so I can change the color of the button. Just for the fun, let's change it to blue. I'll go back to site and refresh the page. And it's blue. You can decide, as I said before, where to place the button on mobile devices and desktop. And you can choose, actually only on desktop, you can choose where to place, on what corner to place the button. That will be the phone number that will forward the calls. And on missed calls, we have an option to push an SMS to in this area. You can place here another mobile phone, so we can push SMS messages on missed calls with the customer's details. You can activate and disable and enable the button on the page if you need any needs to do it. Soon we're gonna announce with all the legal around it. We're gonna announce the call recording and all the issue around it. Right now it's not active, but it will be soon. And in this tab, you can actually control the activity hours of the business. So you can decide on when you're off and when you close, when the business is closed or out of service. You can choose not to show on Tuesday or on Sundays or whatever you want. All right, let's go to the business information. So this is all the business information we automatically pull from Vendasta. So nothing need to be changed here. And on my Overtok tab, you can see the link and you can see how it looks. So this link call now, if you don't know how to install the code, or if you don't want to install the code, or if you work on an asset when you cannot install the JavaScript code, so you can just grab this link and it just works the same. And that will be the JavaScript code, as you saw before. It comes with this customized button. And also here you have the video explainer and how-to videos, very quick and very easy to do. That will be the tool that I showed you on the presentation where you can duplicate JavaScript code and links. So if I want to create a new link for a new asset that I have for my business, so I can just add another tag, for example, landing page campaign number 2, add. And when I install this JavaScript on the separate page and I click from and I call from it, on the interaction tab, you see where the call came from. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll show you that right now. So if I go to reports and interaction tab, so we have, of course, the graphs and the pies of total calls answered and missed. And here we can see the list of the calls. So we have date and time. We have call type, which is missed called and answered calls. We have durations. Don't worry that this is just a, it's not a real business. You have the source name. This is what you duplicate or just get as a default from us. That will be the code. This is the URL where the call came from. And that will be the action type that were taken after the call. So in this case, we see that some user clicked to location to navigate to the store after the call, and another one just dropped his email. And details rows is when the calls is missed. So you have an icon here, so you can open the pop-up and see the customer's details for, like, three fields of name or email or phone number. All right, action tab.
I
Yes.
actually have a question here while we're under reports and interactions. So can you talk about tracking? Would this replace traditional dynamic number call tracking? And can I track where calls come from? Does it sync with Google Analytics?
Yeah, great question. So this is exactly, actually not this one, but my Overtok, this is exactly where we innovated the call tracking solution as we're familiar with today. So usually when you advertise your business in, for example, 10 different channels, landing page, one phone number for landing page, one phone number for my website, someone go deeper, you have one phone number for the desktop side, and one phone number for the mobile side, and one for the app, and one for yellow pages, and one, you spread your different call tracking numbers all over the place, and you need to buy them, and you need to activate them, and in this system, you just, as I showed before, copy the code, and if I click this, I'll show you an example. Let me just open a new link. Let's call him Vendasta add. And I have now a copy of this link. And what happens here, I just copy the link on the browser. You can place this link, of course, anywhere on text, on text, on banner, on post, on your emails you send. That's great for email newsletter and campaigns. If you want to measure each campaign separately, so you can do it with this duplication of the link or the code. And when I click on this link, so it just happens the same. And this is the end of call screen. And now if I go to back to the dashboard and I go to reports interaction, so I can see that the source name Vendasta made this call. So if I want to measure the Vendasta ROI, for example, if I pay $1,000 a month for being listed in campaigns that cost me $1,000 a month, and then I can measure exactly how many calls, and then measure ROI, and at the end. And for your last questions, since there is no I call it telco or telephone system involved here, we can shoot pixels and integrate easily with Google Analytics or other analytic systems. So yes, the answer is yes.
All right, thank you.
Sure, no problem. All right, another interesting tab here is the action tab. Here you can see a summarize of amount of calls. This is the last 30 days, but you can shoot whatever you anytime you want here. So I'll stay on the last 30 days. So I had 42 calls, I had seven total actions, and I have 17% of conversion rate, means total actions / total calls. So the type of the screens that I showed you in the demo was call to action. Call to action, I just reminding, is what happens after the call ends. And we have different action types. We have rating and reviews, we have click to location, and we have collected emails. Here we can see again all the statistics and the ratios. And if I go to, for example, clicks on location, I can see the total conversions. I can see how many clicks on Uber, how many clicks on Waze. I can see the log of the calls here together with the action. And of course, I can export everything to Excel. And this is, I think this is the very special place where I'm just continuing, Cam, answering your question. And this is the little things that make us different from traditional phone system or call tracking companies.
Basically, this is where the money is. This action and conversion report.
Yeah, and when there's different businesses, they have different goals and different needs. So if, for example, let's take again this restaurant. So the diner is really want to build strong relationship with his customers, so he can use the collected email screen and just imagine it that every call is an opportunity to grab another action from very, very granular and high intent customers. I mean, there are customers that are not just exploring your site, they decided to call the business. So it makes them very, very quality. And the option to keep engaged with this user after the call ends, it's magical. And it works and it converts very high. If you go to the dashboard, you can see here what happens in real time on your assets. So you can see how many visitors are on site right now and how many of them are in the middle of active calls. And here you can see again the combined data of web and calls. So you can see how many unique visitors you had on this period of time, how many answered calls, how many missed calls, how many actions were taken, and some ratios like calls slash unique visitors, action slash calls, action slash unique visitors. We can show you how many calls made on mobile and how many calls made on desktop. What was the total minutes that were speaking with the customers and the average call. And here we got all the graphs with the total interactions and the engagement. Engagement is, again, it's the actions that were taken before or after the call.
All the dashboards numbers are on Vendasta executive report as Guy presented you before.
Let's see it. So if I go to the business center again, and I'll go to executive report. This is the demo business from New York. And I'll go to my website statistics so you can see everything here. The unique visitors that visit my site in this period of time, answered calls, missed calls, and all the analytics we have on our dashboard. You can see it here as well. Just saying that on the admin of Overtok, you can see deeper analytics as the interactions, all the logs, and all these other things that I went through today. Yeah, that's about it. I think I covered quite all of the admin and the solutions that we have in the and features that we have in the admin on the business side. And Ken, do you have any more questions about this demo before Barak is taking it to the pricing?
We have no pending questions right now, so you can continue on to the pricing and then we'll get back to the Q&As towards the end.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll present the screen and we're moving to pricing. It's yours, Brian.
So, hi again. This is our business model and pricing. So very easy. When that's the partner price, includes all features you saw right now, and also 250 monthly call minutes is a $9 a month. Our suggest retail price to the SMB with include the same features and the same 250 monthly calls is $19 a month.
Just something small I want to give it as a note. You know, there's something we call professional services. I mean, sometimes we try to speak with some directly with some small businesses and let them try this machine, and we understand small businesses cannot do it themselves. So if you additionally to this product, you can give them and design for him, you know, the funnels and the flows. You can charge another additional cost for professional services.
Okay, and the last thing is the add-on price. Mean if the business use this 250 monthly cost that in their basic package, so you can buy another unit of another additional 250 calls minutes. Um, but when business going to come to the level that he finished the all minutes, so we're sending a mail that he can buy this add-on price. We not stop the service, but we notice him that he need to have an additional call minutes. So, how to sell? This is some point to focus on. Powerful and visual caller journey from beginning, even before the call is connected to end, creates stronger and more loyal customers. The second one is a new valuable action from same traffic size and the ability to grow business, online reservation and booking, and turn an offline call to an online transaction, empower social presence, create or extend email lists, more reviews for the business, and many more action the business needs to grow. There is no lost call or leads. We're capturing missed calls into quality leads, as you saw in the demo. Customized solution for each business need using our engagement screen editor. As you see, you can edit everything here and customize any page. It's one single platform to manage, analyze, and track all calls from all channels and that business own by easily duplicating the JavaScript code or the link. Sales kit and explainers. All marketing materials and explanation are packed for you on our page in the marketplace. But if you still have any question, you always can directly ask and we always answer. There is some typical question that always come up, so I just run them really quick. And if you have more questions, you can ask Ham, and we will answer everything. So the first one, what type of business Overtok suitable for? The solution is suitable for small and medium businesses that operate digital assets such as websites, landing page, social page, and more. There is a possibility, like you saw, to choose working with the link on temporary asset that's hard or impossible to embed the JavaScript and using a JavaScript on permanent assets. The second question, what is the direct value of using Overtok? So our solution extends the time on site of user who call a business, and through this creates new touch point in real time, which create additional action and added value for the businesses. Does Overtok measure phone calls? Like you saw, yes, we're using our a unique technology. It's easy to track and manage calls and efficient to duplicate the code for embedding on different channels to better understand the ROI. Measure and track calls is native part of the product. Another question that come up always is spatial software application need to be installed? So no, business receive call to regular mobile or landline phone numbers. The caller just need to click the call button. Of the parties of the call, no one of the parties of the calls need to download or install anything. Last question that very important is Overtok secure? So Overtok operates only on secure environments. A digital asset that embedded our JavaScript must be secure with SSL. Basically, that's it. Thank you very much for your participation and attention. And we back the liberated control to thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Now we have a few questions here, so I'll just go through them one by one. There's just a little bit more clarification needed on the tracking. So in this specific instance, how would I track a call that comes from Google Organic Search versus a paid ad if the website URL is the same?
So at the moment, because we're not integrated with Google or GMB tools at the moment, we do work on it. The calls from Google itself will go as it goes to there, to offline call to the phone dialer. But you can use this. What you ask, you can use it on your analytics. This is the Google Analytics, and shoot a pixel that says this visitor came from this URL and he made a call, and then it will be event, but it's not built in on our system. All right?
Okay, so currently the Google search isn't integrated just yet, but you're working on that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a few more questions.
I think guys, yeah, sorry, you go.
Yeah, all right. So if the user calls from a smartphone and then takes their phone and puts it up to their ear, is there an audio message that can tell them to look at their screen? I think it's a natural process to click on a call icon and then hold the phone to your head. And do you have any statistics or comments about that?
This is a great question, and actually we tested. Of course, we tested our product on the lab and with real people. As Barak mentioned, we are installed on the thousands of pages already, and we saw that when a user clicked to call and immediately, in a second, see the first page, which is different. I mean, it's not moving to the dialer anymore, so it keeps the attention. But when I wouldn't think that to come up with a voice tone that tells the user to take the phone from the ear and look at it is a good solution. I mean, we can do it. You know, we are a technology company. We can do anything. But if you missed it, you missed it. But when you finish the call and you press on the red button on the business, hang up the call before the caller, you basically gonna see the page. I mean, your eyes are in front of the phone, and you can see the post-call action screen. I think that when we see our conversion rates and numbers, it just tells us it's true, because people are clicking and people are really engaged. It's not when what you show on the before the call or after the call is not another ad. It's something from the business. It's a message from the business, and the high intent callers that just finished the call with the business are really into it, and they click and they engage, and when you ask something, they answer. We have one client that they ask something, some survey on the end of the call, and they get more than 70% of users that answer this question, which brings in a lot of value and data.
All right. So that's good to hear that you actually had user tests on this, and that is why
Absolutely.
your user experience is this way.
Absolutely.
All right.
Actually, if you guys hear something else from what we found, we'll be happy if you share it with us. And we're here to listen and we're here to learn. And if you find some other behaviors, we'd love if you share it with us.
All right. Okay, so another question. If the customer uses the Overtalk icon to call, they are staying on the website technically, right? And as long as that call is engaged, they are on the website. So is it correct to assume that it also improves the visitor's time on site metric? And that would be good for partners or vendors and improves their numbers. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So I'll take it for this question, and I'll give you two answers. The first one is a fact. Once the call is taking place on site, so the time on site, this is a very important parameter in Google Analytics, is longer. I mean, if the user typically spend 2 minutes on the site on your site, and then he click to call and not using Overtalk and move to the phone dialer, is abandoning the website after 2 minutes. But if the user clicked through Overtalk and then he made a call for a duration of 2 minutes, that means we doubled the time on site.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really deeply check yet if it has SEO points. We're still on it, but you can find out before I say yes.
Okay. And we just have a comment that your answers to the previous question was really good. So thank you for that. Okay, another question. If a person swipes away the information after the call instead of engaging with the content, will it pop up as a reminder later if they are still on the site or if they return? Probably.
Uh, not right now. There are some I can share it that we have some developments right now that we are thinking of how to keep engaged with the user next time he's on site.
Mm-hmm.
We did run a pilot with one telco company in Israel. What they wanted to do that after the user, we first they wanted us to mark the callers. Now, if a caller came back to the site after 24 or 48 hours, we know this cookie. It's not a caller anymore; it's a cookie. So they wanted us to come up with a pop-up that says, 2 days ago you called Joe the plumber. Give us your review. Uh, so we're still testing this kind of engagement after the call was made, and we have cool things on the roadmap, and of course we'll announce it once it's ready. But great question, by the way.
Mm-hmm. All right, that sounds good. And maybe we can have those features into our Overtalk product in the marketplace someday.
That will happen very soon, I promise.
Yeah, really awesome comments and questions, you guys. Keep them coming. We don't have any as of now, but maybe we'll just stay maybe 5 minutes on the line just to answer any other questions that come up.
Sure, no problem. Just shoot anything you can imagine.
All right, so we'll just keep waiting here if anybody has more questions.
All right, I can see this one.
Okay, I'll read it out. Do you have any statistics on the number of SMBs in the US that are using their PC as their primary desktop phone? Just curious.
Yeah, so actually we're curious too. Uh, what we got from our clients is that since the split between desktop and mobile is in most cases, at least from our customers, is 75 or 80% for the mobile. Most of them not even install the code on desktops. Actually, we still have some development that we want to know before the call starts if there's a microphone connected, And in the future, if a camera connected, if you can read between the lines. But at the moment, we don't really have these statistics. But
in the US, we don't have, but we have a customer in a different country that really want to, it's a directory for restaurants that really want to use it on desktop because on lunchtime, everybody on work and want to make an orders from the desktop. So we might have some answer in a few weeks because he just checking it.
Okay. So follow up. So we feel that this is a growing area, PCs being used as phones. This creates some opportunity.
Yeah, it is. It is. You can, as I said, you can use it on desktop. It works well. Actually, all the demo that I just showed, I showed mobile, but it's I'm working on desktop right now, so it works. And we have different plans for desktops. You know, to come up with wider solutions and wider screens, and you know, some other cool things that are on our roadmap right now. And of course, once it's on, it will be natively on Vendasta too.
All right, perfect. I don't think there are any more questions, but really, really good conversation. I enjoyed learning from you guys. So Barak and Guy, thank you again for joining us today. And to all our viewers, thank you for attending this week's Vendasta webinar. Thank you for all the great comments and the questions. I will catch you again next week, Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for our next weekly Vendasta webinar. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.